Welcome to the Social Adventures Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Hester, and today we're going to be diving into one of my favorite topics. Preparing for big adventures. As you know, or some of you may know, that I'm going to be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro this coming January. That's 2 months from when we're recording this. And tonight we're going to talk about packing for Kilimanjaro. We'll talk with some of the things that I've already put on together on my packing list, which I'll share a link to in the show notes. And I want to dig into, like what really works, what to bring, what not to bring, the things that really matter, the important things, and maybe the luxury items, the things that you'd like to have that maybe you want to bring along as well. And tonight's guest, I have the perfect person to help me with that. He is a 6-time six-pack of peaks finisher for the Bay Area and the Lake Tahoe challenges. Earlier this year, I think it was February 2025, right? He summited Mount Kilimanjaro. Jason Parks, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for having me, and love to talk about hiking anytime, anywhere, any place, especially Kilimanjaro. It was quite an achievement.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Jason, before we get started, I wanted you to give folks kind of an overview of your outdoor background. I know you've completed the six-pack of peaks challenge for multiple years in a row. 6 times altogether in 2 regions. I think I have those numbers right.
That's
How
correct.
did those experiences on the six-pack shape your approach to preparing for your Kilimanjaro climb?
Well, using the challenges and being very social, I was putting them out there, so I had a lot of other people come with me. I was looking for elevation gain and endurance, and I even cheated a little bit and made some of the hikes a little bit longer. And I always carried a heavier pack with me, too, for
All right.
training to get up there, which is really important. Um,
Handicapping.
Yes. So everybody said I'm really quick and really fast, and I said, and I got asked a few times, you mean going on these hikes? That's not really the exact challenge. I said, yeah, I make it a little longer because I want to have more of endurance training.
Yeah.
And then because of my limited location, I can only Tahoe is the closest I can get to really any elevation. And when Tahoe came around, it's like, oh, I'm hitting up Tahoe as much as possible, making sure I hit all those peaks.
Wow.
Um, Also, I did also Mount Whitney in 2022 and in 2023. I was fortunate enough to get overnight permits for both of those, and Kilimanjaro, along with was just kind of like the next evolution. And I just kept training with the Peaks Challenge.
All right. Awesome. So this year you did Kilimanjaro. Give us an overview of your climb and what route you took, how many days, and kind of an overview of what the experience was like.
So the overview, we did our research and said we wanted to do about a 7-day climb. Leshimo route seemed the best one right there for the scenery and beauty of it. There were obviously 5 and 7 or 5 and 10 day trips, but we said, let's go right in that sweet spot of 7 days. We arrived 2 days before the climb and stayed 2 days after the climb so we could acclimate and rest, because getting there and back is a long haul, no matter where you're coming from. Um, the climb itself, was pretty steady and level. Just the I, I forget the name of the camp that we stayed at with the Baronga wall. That was kind of like the only part I wish I had approach shoes on. My boots worked out, but that was the only kind of like little iffy part right there. But it was very manageable, and the guides and porters were very helpful. Um, uh, Summit night was was the longest day for us. Every day was more, 5 to 7 miles at most, and one day was 12 miles. But it was a lot of acclimatization. You go from west to east, and the night before we left at 11. We summited around like 7. Left at 11 at night. Summited around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But then we went all the way back down. I forget the exact camp again off the top of my head, but that day was a 12-mile hike.
Great.
Four,
Yeah.
mi- 4 miles to the top in about 6-7 hours, but you start out at 15,000 or 14,000 feet, and you're going to 19,300.
Yeah.
And the only thing you could see along the trail It's going up is the glow of headlamps
Oh, that's
because we
cool.
wanted.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. But then you could look down on Arusha and M-
Maru?
I think, yeah, thank you. Uh, that you could see the glows of the city and the stars are. And also, we were very fortunate back in February that it was the time where all the planets aligned, so you could actually see Jupiter, Mars, Neptune,
Ah, very cool.
Uranus, and everything. That was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, and we made it back down all nice and safe. It was a
That's
group
good.
of, uh, well, unfortunately, my friend Winston, who I hike with often, he developed
Hmm.
high altitude pulmonary edema. So he actually had to be helicoptered off the mountain the night before we could summit. But he had insurance. We were all mandated to have insurance, so that took care of that. But it did take him an extra 6 weeks to recover after
Oof.
the fact.
Wow. And he's okay now, though.
Yeah, he's okay now. But it just
That's
took him.
good.
I mean, it could have affected hit anybody on their way up summit night. I mean, people were being escorted back down.
Yeah.
Uh, So I mean, it doesn't matter how healthy or strong you are; it can hit anybody anytime.
Yeah. What surprised you most on Kilimanjaro, either good or bad, that may not be obvious to somebody who's packing and preparing for the trip, like myself?
So packing, I mean, I felt. Well, I'll tell you about the terrain first, and I'll go to packing. So
Okay.
actually, the trail itself is relatively, I shouldn't say easy, but easy to hike and maneuver. It's just you're just going at a walking pace. You're not running up this mountain, and the more the merrier. Because I mean, I was taking pictures every 5 minutes, so I took over 1,000 photos the whole time I was there of
Wow.
just different things. I know, but then I cut it down to about 800 at the end when I went
Sure.
through
Yeah.
them all. But the trail is very manageable. It's just a slow, steady pace. Your guides and porters will be very mindful. Say, hey, don't run ahead. There's always a guide in front and in back, and one in the middle, depending on your group size. Um, so the trail was very manageable. The weather was very pleasant. The only time it rained on this was about for 5 minutes in the very first mile and a half. Then it stopped, and we had very reasonable weather the rest of the time. Very
Nice.
cold nights to say the least. We did get some frost in our tents. And that, I mean, we got very fortunate with our
Mm,
weather. Now,
mm.
packing wise, I did a lot of research. Reaching out to friends and everything. Uh, I had 2 bags I took with me, or actually total 3. 2 bags I checked on the plane. The other bag was my carry-on. Now, depending on how you guys are going there, how are you going there, Jeff? I mean, you are hosting a hike. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're
there's
going in
13.
January.
Yeah. So we have 13, myself and 12 other people from Social Hikers who are going to be doing Kilimanjaro in
Nice,
January. We're going to be
nice.
doing we're going to a 7-day route,
Hmm.
and very similar to the route that you took, but we summit on the 6th day.
Hmm.
And so I think a lot of the route that we're taking is going to be coincident with the route that you took, where you know when you get to Barranca Wall and go on, it's pretty much the same, I think.
It is the same.
Yeah.
Yes. My question is, are you guys taking a direct flight over, or are you to Doha and then to
So
Tanzania?
we're all doing kind of different. We're not coming as a group in
Oh,
on flights. So we're going to meet in Moshi, and some of us are coming in a day early. Some of us are coming in the day before. So
gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I took a direct flight from San Francisco to Doha in Qatar. So that's 15 and a half hours on a tube, which is, if you can do it, you can do it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, if you are in Qatar and you have the chance, one, the airport there is incredible to explore. Uh, they also have showers, so if you want to pack a change of clothes and showers, because being on a plane just to like get clean is really nice. On
Hmm.
the way back, we had a 14-hour layover, so we actually did an exploratory tour out into the city for like 3-4 hours, which was incredible. yeah, we saw lots of different sites. But back to packing. So that's just there. So my 2 check bags, I had one for the trail. It was a waterproof 70-liter North Face bag. They're big, they're yellow. You've seen them. Um, our weight limit was a max of 30 pounds that we could pack in it, not counting the packs that we carry ourselves. Uh, Personally, I brought a 500 liter, or not liter, 500 uh, down jacket and an 800 down jacket with a hood. Those are very compactable. I had a wind shell with a hood, which was waterproof. A fleece zip up. I had about 3 or 4 base layer just tops, long sleeve. Um, I had one turtleneck. I had a pair of silk underwear and smart wool underwear, just to keep. Uh, and I do recommend fresh change of socks and underwear every single day. That's the only thing I took at least 7 days of that. 2 pairs of shorts. I had 3 pairs of pants along with a rain shell. Uh, Other things I took were my hiking poles, micro spikes. I packed my own snacks because they do provide. I mean, the food on there, they do provide it every single stop, or at least our tour guide did. Tea, snacks, anything, and had a very robust lunch or breakfast and dinner, which was nice. Um, we also I had my mid to heavy snow gloves on, headlamp, beanie, goggles, because I wear glasses. I don't wear contacts. So I just bought a pair of goggles that would go over my glasses in case it was windy at night. Um, because they said it's going to be breezy, and again there was no wind, which is incredible.
Lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, we got so fortunate with our weather. I was expecting when we got to top, it was maybe 10 degrees or zero, but I mean it was still, but I mean not a wisp of wind, and
Yeah.
blue skies and sunshine. Um, Definitely bring face balm, suntan lotion, and lip balm. Bring extra, and some people you may forget it.
Mm.
Um, but one thing that I also did, my luxury item that I did pack for myself, because you could rent just basically anything and everything there, which is really nice for a few dollars. You can rent poles, micro spikes, whatever. I decided to bring it. Um, and I did rent my sleeping bag, which were clean, but also the mattress that comes with it. But I do backpacking on occasion, so I brought my backpacking mattress pad, my air pad, and sleeping on that along with the mattress, the pad that they provided, and also my own little pack pillow that I had. I slept like a baby every single night. I don't know how
Nice.
I did it. My friend Winston, he slept okay. We went with another couple. They were sleeping a little harder because they didn't bring the mattress pad that I brought. But I mean, uh, it was just the luxury item that I would suggest.
Yeah. A
So that
pat
was
air
that was kind of,
mattress.
yeah. I mean, they sell them lightweight; they're so thin and packable. And I left it
Hmm.
in my backpack, and the guides and porters were very concerned, like, hey, your pack is too heavy, because I also carried my 3 liter water bladder and another liter of electrolytes with me at all times. So I really hydrated. I think that also contributed to the success of my summit, because every day I was drinking 2 liters of electrolytes and at least 2 liters of just regular water. I
Hmm.
think that really helped me,
Made a
but I
difference.
mean,
Yeah.
I think it did.
Yeah. Did you find you had to like kind of be intentional about drinking and hydrating, or were you actually thirsty enough to drink it?
I was very fortunate. Again, I can speak for myself. I didn't lose my appetite at any time. Altitude didn't bother me that much. Again, I think I was hydrating really well. Um, I've been watching a lot of other people giving tips and tricks, and I think being regimented to like drinking on a regular basis, eating when you're hungry, stopping and resting for snacks, and also I did take a half what you call it, what's the altitude medication? All of a sudden now I forget it what it's called.
Diamox.
Diamox.
Diamox. Yeah.
Diamox. I only took one pill a day.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was just at night, because I've tried Diamox before and it didn't agree with me very well. and
Mm.
so I was very hesitant to bring it or take it. Um, and so I started breaking the pills in half, and I said, that's not going to work. So I just started taking it at night. So I was fully, uh, uh, what had my full dose in the morning. So I'd go from there.
Gotcha.
So it wouldn't be that. Which again, this just worked for me. I mean, everybody to each his own and everything.
Okay. Well, what I like to do, I've got my own packing list that I've put
Sure,
together on using a website called lighterpack.com. And I'll share a link to this in the show notes so people can go and check it out. It's still being edited, and I'm getting taking notes from you right now, so I'm getting some ideas. Can we look at that and kind of walk through it section
sure
by
thing,
section, and you can
absolutely.
kind of critique my gear, what I'm bringing.
Oh,
So
I don't like. Everybody's so different. I mean, I'll say you may want to think this, you may want to think that. Again, only suggestions, but
for sure, sure.
never critique another hiker. It's like, hey, if it works for them, it works for them.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the things that I'm going to carry myself. So I'm not really including the clothes, some of which obviously I'll be wearing, some of it I'll be carrying, depending on the weather and what's going on. But I'm bringing, and a lot of these things are things that I would normally bring on any kind of a long hike, a day hike, or certainly a backpacking trip. I'm bringing carbon fiber trekking poles. I just use the Cascade Mountain Tech trekking poles that I get at Costco in the
Hmm.
spring. They work really well. It's just under £1 for the pair. I do wrap about a 3 foot length of duct tape around the shaft, the upper shaft portion, just because it's nice to have for first aid, impromptu repairs. You need to MacGyver, a boot that the sole is separating or something like that. You can do that. So I have my backpack. I'm bringing a Hyperlight Mountain Gear 3400. It's just a standard big open backpack. It does have 3 sections of sort of elastic pockets on the two on the one on either side and one in the back, a big one in the back, and it just has a roll top, so it's water resistant. And what I've typically done is I've used a heavy duty trash compactor bag as a waterproof liner. So all my gear goes into the trash compactor bag inside the pack. And so that's worked for me in the rain and whatnot. But, you know, I don't know if I should maybe think about bringing a rain cover for the pack itself. I think I'll be okay because I've already done this in the rain and that's worked pretty well for me.
So actually, really quick, one thing that was suggested, and I did bring it, was a rain poncho to put over all my things. So because the rain will get in between your back and your pack
Your pack.
itself. Yeah. So that's just another idea. I wrote it down. I said I did have a poncho. I used it, like I said, for about 5 minutes, and then I said there went the rain.
Didn't need it. Yeah.
Didn't need it. I was prepared for everything.
That's not a bad idea because you can get those small, ponchos that kind of fold up
Hmm.
into a little pocket,
Hmm.
and they don't weigh a whole lot, and
Yeah.
they don't look sexy or high tech or anything, but they do the job, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I am bringing a couple, stuff sack type things for some of my gear just to kind of organize it.
Hmm.
I'll probably keep my sleeping gear in one little stuff sack and my day to day clothing in one, and then some of my electronics and other, my cords and cables and chargers in another. Um, I will have now for water. I tend to use Nalgene bottles. I like the old school Nalgene bottle.
Yeah, the
And
Nalgene bottles, what they'll do at night, at least my company, the company I went with, they actually put boiling water in them, so you have hot
right,
water bottles every night.
right.
But because of the altitude, sometimes they expand, so you can't get the lid off very well. And I had like three different people trying to take the lid off of mine. I almost hurt my hand trying to just get my hand off in the morning.
Oh,
But
yeah, yeah. They get tight, and
they
plus
get
there's a little
tight.
moisture and it
Oh
freezes.
yeah,
And
it proves you're up a
yeah.
creek without a paddle there. So
So
yeah,
the
I
other
use
the
that.
other tip I heard was to store it upside down, so
Hmm.
that when the ice freezes, it's up at the top or the bottom, as you will, and when you turn it over,
Yeah.
you've got a little air bubble where you want it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually they do sell sleeves, insulated sleeves, and I use that actually,
Mm.
and that worked out too. So
So one of the reasons I like Nalgene bottles is because I can just kind of chug water. You know, I like to hydrate that way. I do have to be more intentional about it. You know, because I
yes.
can't easily grab my Nalgene, pull it out, drink, and put it back without stopping. You know, and really kind of
Mm,
thinking about that. So one of the things that I also bring is a 1 liter sport top water bottle, like a smart water bottle or something
mm,
similar to that. So it weighs a few ounces. And I have a carrier that goes on my shoulder strap. So it's accessible. It's right in front, right there. And I can grab that and drink, you know, very easily. So
mhm.
that's usually one of the things that I'll supplement with. And I try to alternate between water and electrolytes, you know, a liter of
Same here.
water, a liter of electrolytes, that kind of thing. For my camera, I'm just using my iPhone. I have a digital, you know, DSLR or actually a mirrorless that I sometimes carry around, but this thing weighs a bunch, and I don't really want to bring it honestly. I think the iPhone, I have an iPhone 14 Pro, and it does a pretty darn good job for what I need. And
So yeah,
um,
all of my photos were on my. I actually upgraded to the 16 Pro Max, and
nice,
if you find my all my social media stuff right on, especially my Facebook, I mean I have some pretty incredible shots of the mountain at night with the stars lit up behind it. It's one of my covers. Uh, so and my wife just got the 17 Pro, and hers the camera is just so incredible on it. So I mean, if you
mm,
have the opportunity, you may want to think about just upgrading now. I
yeah,
know, they're
yeah,
pricey,
yeah. I'm.
but it's like once every 3 4 years, I'll go ahead and do it. But yeah, that's all I
It's
took.
been about that, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I did think about bringing an SLR, but I mean, I have the same one, a Canon, and one lens, but I'm not. That's an extra 5 6 pounds, literally right
right,
there. I'm like, no, I'm good.
yeah. Headlamp, I'm bringing a pretty heavy duty, pretty bright headlamp. You know, I don't know that I'll need it really, but on summit day, it'd be kind of nice to just be able to see the trail on the way up,
It
because you'll be
helps.
doing the same thing, you know, starting at
Yeah.
midnight or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
the crack of midnight.
Oh, dark 30.
Oh, dark 30. Yeah. So that's kind of like what I'm going to be carrying in my pack. Is there any other gear? I mean, obviously, I didn't talk about clothes, so I'll have layers in there as well. And I'll also have some consumables. I'm bringing some snacks and some electrolytes, and those will be in there. You brought some that kind of dole out throughout the course of the week that you were on the mountain, I assume. Did you
Yes.
carry all of that in your day pack, or did you put some of it in your porter carried duffel? And
No, I carried it all in my pack. That's what I was
okay,
basically training for because I knew my weight limit of the duffel the porters were going to take was up
yeah,
to max of 30 pounds. So I just carried it all myself. But then I shared. I mean, the porters and the staff there, they're like, yeah, we'll have whatever. Because by the time I got home, I had no snacks left because I just kept giving it away. Here, take and eat, and eat, and eat. And
awesome.
really quick shout out to all the porters. Uh, they pack up everything in the morning before you're gone for the most part, or you head out just a few ahead of them, but they're passing you on the trail, carrying everything on their shoulders and their backs. And it's pretty amazing because they're passing you at 12,000 feet in Crocs or sandals or flip flops. I was like, oh my God. Um,
Wow,
and they're beating you to the camp and setting things up for you way ahead of time.
wow,
So at the very end of the trip, I did donate my boots because I mean they were still in really good shape to uh, the porters. I said whoever can. I was asking who wears what, and they're all giving me their sizes. I said I wear a size 11 boot, and so I said here I gave him to our main guide. I said whoever can fit into him. He's like, thank you so much. If you are going to bring gifts for the porters, I mean, yes, candies and snacks and stuff are cool, but a donation of equipment is even more useful. than anything,
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
opinion. In my opinion,
Yeah. Yeah. Good opportunity to take a look at what's in your gear closet and think about an opportunity to pass it on to somebody else who can take advantage of it.
absolutely.
Let's move on to sort of the equipment, the porter carried equipment. So I've got, and I'm making some assumptions here, and part of this is based on the weight of everything. One of the nice things about the Lighter Pack website, is that you can categorize your gear, and if you plug in the weight of everything, it'll total up by category. So
Hmm.
that's what I've done here. I don't know that this is exhaustive yet, because I may end up with some of my gear in my duffel bag that the porter carries, because I'm way under 30 pounds right now.
Hmm.
I'm I have a Osprey duffel bag. It's an Osprey Transporter 65 liter, which is sort of the low end of what they recommended that we bring.
Hmm.
I use that all the time for kind of like carrying gear, and that's worked pretty well for me. I'm going to bring I have a 0 degree down bag, a Big Agnes Storm King that I'm bringing, and I pair that with a Big Agnes insulated air mattress that also works well for me when I don't have holes in it.
Yeah.
And and then the one thing that's still kind of a question mark for me, I am a big fan of trail runners for most of my hikes. And when I switched from boots to trail runners, at first I was thinking, well, when I do a backpacking trip, I'll wear boots for that, because I'll be carrying more weight and all that. But I've actually switched. For the last, I don't know, almost 10 years now, I've done my backpacking also in trail runners. I do have I have boots, obviously, and I have a pair of Ultra Lone Peak mids, which are waterproof, and they have, a more traditional boot profile as far as the height goes, but they're flexible like a trail runner. And I'm thinking about maybe using those as my boot for summit day, and using trail runners most of the other days. I don't know. Any feedback on that or thoughts on that?
You, you know, I mean, I saw some of the other. I mean, we crossed so many paths. I mean, we were very social on the trail with a lot of the other hikers, and everybody was going. I saw some really heavy duty boots to just basic trail runners, and so I mean, comfort level. I mean, I think trail runners. I mean, I finally went over to uh, Nokia's trail runners here just a few months ago. I said, I'm okay. I'll give them a try. I'll give them a tryout, and I really do prefer those on most of my hikes now.
Hmm.
But summit night, definitely, I would go with more of a boot profile, because when you get to the top, I mean, you're walking around on frozen ice and snow. Um, that's when I broke out my crampons. I'm sorry, my heavy duty micro spikes. They're not really micro spikes. They're like just a step below a crampon, but they were saying you got to wear them, you got to bring them, and I'm glad I
Mm.
did. But my Morels, that's what I normally wear when I'm doing something really tough. And
Hmm.
this year, when I do Kilimanjaro, when I do Clouds Rest and in Yosemite in the spring, that's going to be just trail runners for taking the trip up.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, my only question, I think I'm going to probably do some more, field testing here locally in the snow, just
Yeah.
to feel, if that's going to be warm enough for me. I used my boots on my hike a couple weekends ago up South Sister, and and some really heavy duty, darn tough socks. They're like winter mountaineering socks, and it was a little too much. And
Hmm.
so I want to try that again with my Ultra Lone Peak mids, and see if my feet stay warm enough. And if that's the case, and I'm, just they don't feel all beat up at the end of the day, then I'll probably use those as my hiking boots. And then I'll be basically using the standard Ultra Lone Peak as my trail runner for the other days when there's not snow and when the conditions are a little bit better.
Right.
My battery pack, I'm assuming I'm going to have the the battery, because I usually don't need to charge at all during the day. I'm charging at night if I need to charge my phone or my watch or whatever. So I'll have that in the duffel. I was planning to bring my own mug and spoon. I know they have cutlery and stuff like that, but I just kind of like, having the thing that I'm used to using. So they weigh almost nothing. What else did you have? That's all I have right now in that porter carried equipment. Obviously, I don't have all my layers and stuff in there. Talk to me about what you had in what the porter carried, and
Oh,
what am I missing?
the porter carried basically everything that I mentioned in the very beginning. My heavier jackets, more my base layers, pants, etc. I The one thing I do say that I could have done um, a little less. I mean, you're on the trail, you're going to be dirty, and just keep using the same thing. So, I mean, you're not going to pack a change of clothes for every single day. I would have maybe cut down on my base layers by one. Uh, only taken one pair of shorts, maybe just two pairs of pants instead of three. I mean, and just kind of lighten the load just a little bit. Um, Also, again, we got very fortunate. I was planning for full Arctic winter up there because I mean, who knows what's it going to be up there. Um, so yeah, I was doing research up until the day before we left on our trip to say what's the weather, what's the weather, what's the weather, and it was still going to be cold, but maybe a chance of snow. So I still just brought everything.
Mm.
Um, so I mean, the porter basically carried maybe about 5 pounds of unnecessary weight, maybe 10, maybe 5 or 7 pounds of unnecessary weight of clothing wise. Um, but I carried a lot of my own stuff. I mean, the guides were seriously because they were picking up my pack and going, "This is too heavy. It should be only like 7 kilogram, seven." I forget how much because they use the metric system over here, and I'm a silly American, and we don't know the metric system very
So am
well.
I. Yeah.
Kilograms,
Okay.
kilograms. They said no more than 11 pounds. My pack was easily 20. Um, uh, so I carried a lot of my own stuff because I just wanted to make sure all my bases were covered.
Yeah.
I think uh, doing research and packing what you're going to feel comfortable with is important. I packed to the maximum amount of weight in my porter bag because I would rather be have something and not need it than need something and not have it, especially with
Right.
the weather conditions up there.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
uh,
unpredictable.
it's so unpredictable. But I could have dropped a few things off here and there that
Mm.
I could have done. So
Okay, so just a real quick, another little thing that I like about LighterPack, it's
yeah,
free to register for. That's
sure,
awesome. Free to
nice.
use. And you can change it. I mentioned how it totals up the weight by category. So I have my porter carried equipment as a category. And I
Hmm.
just was checking and I can change the units that I use. So I have right now three and a half kilograms of
Hmm.
porter carried equipment, as an example. So, and I can change
Sure.
it to pounds or ounces or grams or whatever I want.
Yeah, I just kept stepping on the scale in my bathroom with the bag with it and then without it, and it's like okay, 28 pounds, 29 pounds, okay, 30 pounds, that's close enough.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
because the government there of Tanzania, I mean, talking with the porters and the guides, everybody speaks English. That is mandated by the government that they take English classes. So, I mean, it was a good exchange. Really talking with the porters and the guides to say, hey, what's your life like? I mean, what is my life like, etc., and really have a good exchange with them. They're all incredibly open and friendly, and really would want to know who you are. At least our group did.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about clothes because you mentioned that you brought, an abundance of,
Yeah.
multiple pants and so forth. So I tend to maybe err on the other side,
Hmm.
but I want to hear, your opinion on this. So my top base layer is a hoodie, like a sun hoodie, and
Hmm.
it's wicking, it's moisture wicking, it's quick drying, it is odor resistant, And I'll take that on a 6-day backpacking trip. And that's what I wear like every day. That's not what I
Nice.
sleep in, but that's what I wear during the day.
Hmm.
And, for a heavier base layer, I have an icebreaker merino half zip. So it's got long sleeves and, it's got a lot more warmth behind it. And honestly, even in snow, I rarely use a long bottom base layer or long base top
Hmm.
because I tend to run hot and I end up getting too hot, which then kind of slows me down. And so
Yep.
I'd rather be a little cooler and make my own heat. And so, but I understand I need to have this stuff. So I'm bringing that along. The gloves right now, I have a pair of Kingpin ski gloves. I don't think Black Diamond makes these anymore, but they're pretty heavy ski gloves. I do have an even heavier pair of mittens that,
Hmm.
and so that's the question. Should I bring the ski gloves or the heavier mitten type things, which go like halfway up my forearm?
I didn't. No, I don't. My experience though, again, weather
Yeah.
and timing, it's all about that. Because I mean, it could have been up there
Mhm.
and you could have a blizzard going on. Uh, but no, so I just went with all my gloves. I mean, they were the heavier. I had the mid-level gloves, and then actually, yeah, I had two pairs of gloves, my mid and a heavy pair of gloves. My mid-wear
Mhm.
gloves I wore basically in the mornings until the sun hit us, and then they were off because I
Yeah.
too run hot. My base layer was just a long sleeve mid layer from I went to REI. That was my kind of like their brands, a fleece zip up, uh, which came on and off all the time while I was hiking because depending on when the sun comes out, it gets really warm at
Mhm.
times. And then my windbreaker. But my gloves, I mean, I just went to the wrist because as you're hiking or trekking up the side, especially summit night, that's the only time I ever wore them.
Mhm.
Uh, a summit night, just to have the flexibility, you have your jacket on, you have your windbreaker on, you have your down on with the hood. I mean, you got all this gear on, and I did see some other people with I shouldn't say overkill. It's what worked for them. But I saw
Mhm.
them maybe overdressed. Again, prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm bringing a pair of shorts.
Yeah,
I tend to like to hike in shorts when I can,
same here.
and so I'll try to do that as much as I can. I have a pair of convertible hiking pants as well. So
Same.
essentially, two pairs of shorts out of that.
Hmm.
The one can be long pants. And then further down on this list, I have some rain pants. These are full zip rain pants, so I can put them on over whatever I'm wearing without taking my shoes off or anything, and I can
Hmm.
take them off just as easily. I have to admit that I have rarely used them, even in the rain, frankly, because I don't mind unless it's really cold. I don't mind getting a little wet on my legs,
Hmm.
and I do mind getting hot. And they tend to, because they're waterproof, they don't
Don't
breathe
breathe.
as well, and I
Yeah.
get hot. I do wear. So you mentioned a fleece. I have a fleece mid layer that is a full zip hoodie, and the thing that I like about it, it's an Outdoor Research Deviator hoodie. It is. It doesn't. It has super light, sort of insulation on synthetic insulation on the front, and then almost no insulation. Is like there is no insulation on the back because the
Hmm.
thinking is you're carrying a pack. You don't need that insulation there, so it's kind of nice in that regard. And I've got my a winter jacket as well, a big down hoodie. I hope I don't have to hike in that, but I'm anticipating that possibly on summit day that'll be necessary. Or I'll
Uh,
be nice. It'll be nice in the evenings at camp, just staying warm and as the sun goes down. My camp shoes and, in fact, my hiking shoes will be my Ultra Lone Peaks Trail Runners. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then the gaiters that I'm bringing
uh,
are lightweight gaiters. So I have some heavier gaiters, and that's a question, I guess. Can I get
So
away with sort of the lightweight gaiters, like the trail gaiters that you use with trail
yeah,
runners?
yeah, you
Yes.
can. I mean, yeah, I mean, the amount of again, the time that I went, I had my gaiters that I went go just up to my calf.
Hmm.
Uh, but again, I was expecting, winter conditions, but I mean, the ones for trail runners would probably be more than adequate, uh, in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, don't hold me to it, though. You're going to get up
Yeah,
there
you
and
just, yeah.
you
Again,
just don't
it's
know.
hard to know, right?
It's hard to know. I do use an app called Mountain Weather app or
Hmm.
Mountain. What's it called?
Mountain
Mount.
forecast.
Yeah, Mountain Forecast. Thank you. I just had to
Yeah.
look it up, make sure I'm saying. I use that, and I punched in Kilimanjaro. That kind of worked out. You can get in the most current weather conditions and forecasted weather conditions. I do that for all my hikes that I try to go on, especially in the mountains. Use that over the weekend. I went to Death Valley, Joshua Tree, and Sequoia with my wife, and also went to Whitney on our way through. But I was like, I'm checking the weather even more exact, making sure. So that's just one way to predict or to prepare at least up until the very last moment. Say, I can take this, can't do that. But also, depending on the hotel you're staying at, we stayed in Arusha. Uh, we left our duffel bags there while we were gone. So we left our clothes that we weren't going to be using on the mountain, etc.
Right.
The Yeah, hotels are very generous about doing that. The only thing we did make sure we took with us was just our passports, IDs, and cash. Uh,
Hmm.
so that always stayed with us at all times.
Hmm. Yeah, my list here, I don't have any of the sort of civilian clothes, that I'll be traveling with
Oh,
going to and from. And I'm kind of planning on doing the same as having a bag that I'll leave at the hotel. We'll be in Moshi, but same kind of thing. They can check our bags while we're up on the mountain. And I may end up putting together a little list, another category for that gear, just so that I'm covered. Um, any surprise? What did you actually wear on summit night? Maybe walk us through that.
summer night. Well, only got a few hours of sleep, and that was, of course, when my buddy had to be flown off the mountain, so I didn't get to sleep that much. But summer night, it was. I wore smart wool underneath as a base layer, uh, then just pants. Since there was no rain or anything projected forecasted, I did not wear any kind of rain shell or anything like that. Um, then just a base layer of long sleeve mid-weight base. Then I get very warm myself. I get really hot as I hike, so zip up. Uh, 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 what do I call it? What's it called? A zip up fleece hoodie. Then my downfill jacket, and then my windbreaker over that, and then my beanie, and my gloves, and my uh, what are they called? Gaiters, and my boots, and my pack. So that was it. I mean, I packed pretty light that morning.
Did you have any special socks or same kind of socks you were wearing the rest of the trip?
Same, I got so many different so many different suggestions about socks. Socks with toes, socks without toes, two pairs of socks, socks with heaters. I'm like, I just went with my normal hiking boots, socks, and they just worked out fine. Though at night, I did have a change. I had special pajamas. I had like heavyweight thermals on, and I had heavyweight socks on, so that kept me nice and toasty and warm at night. And I did not bring my own. I have a 0 degree bag myself. I did not bring that. I just rented from them, and I was plenty warm. And comfortable in my, and they did not count the sleeping bag that they provided against the
Okay.
weight.
Oh,
So that
okay.
was just like that, just part of the thing. So that saved me 5 pounds or some whatever it was.
Okay, cool. Well, we talked a little bit about some of the toiletries and first aid things. I don't think that there's any real surprises on the list that I put together. But I wanted to know, like, what were some of the things, what were the first aid or hygiene items that ended up really helping or mattering the most to you on your trip?
Um, First aid, I mean, I did have my little first aid kit. They are required to bring oxygen tanks and full first aid kits up there. But just in case I got a blister or something like that, I brought some
Right.
blister pads. But that was really all I brought. I left my tourniquet and my stop bleed stuff at home. Uh, I said, I don't think I'm going to need that. I'm not going into combat again.
Any
Uh,
Advil? Any
uh,
Advil?
so yeah, I did have my Advil. I did have a little pouch with the pills in it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's watertight and whatnot. I did bring some body wipes. You can buy those at Target or Walmart, and I just transferred them into a plastic bag because it's like, after a day or two, you just want to wipe off the base
Yep.
layer of dirt. And they did provide a trash bag so you could throw them out. Um, so Also chafing balm if you chafe
Mm.
anywhere, which is also important. Uh, and that was really about it. And well, toothbrush, toothpaste, and deodorant, which kind of helped. Uh, and That was really about it. I mean, I didn't bring. I kind of grew a beard, kinda. Didn't look that freakish. Uh, I mean, forget about. And also, everybody's going to have killy hair, as I call it, Kilimanjaro hairdo by the end, because it's just you can just kind of shape it in one way and it just stays there, and brush it back and it just stays there the other way. So also hand sanitizer, very important.
Mm.
Bring plenty of hand sanitizer. True, they do provide water and soap to wash, but it's just that extra layer to try and stave off any kind of spread of infection or contamination, which is really important. Um, Also, personal wipes, which also were helpful. Our group or our what you call it, our porters and whatnot, they provided a toilet to go with us everywhere, so we didn't have to use the main camp toilets. So that was a little luxury thing that they have there, but the
Yeah.
wipes also do help.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm adding to my list as it goes because I had missed the chafing balm and the hand sanitizer, and those are
Oh
two
yeah.
important things to bring along for sure. Did you have any issues, any GI issues or dehydration or blisters at all on the trip?
I got fortunate. I did not. Again, I hydrated like I'm very regimented when I'm doing something this hard or anything of hydration, which is really good. I was very fortunate, didn't have any GI issues, and I was just diagnosed back in December with diverticulitis, a little touch of it for the very first time. So it's like I was really concerned about that, but it didn't affect me at all.
Mm.
Um, Again, I think some people in my group did have some issues and concerns. They said they weren't feeling well. Uh, Either maybe it was the food that wasn't agreeing with them, or they just had a little cross contamination or something like that. But I was very aware of that. Also, to you have to get certain vaccinations to get to Tanzania, and then take malaria pills while you're there. Um, uh, where we're going, the chance I can't speak. This is my own personal thoughts and feelings, and I've reviewed the area. The chance of malaria is low, but it's still there as a risk. The doctors say you need to take your regimen of pills. Take the big yellow pill. I felt that threw me off the first couple of days I was there, so I stopped taking it. But I had no issues or side effects after I stopped taking the medication. Uh, and I was fine after that. But I was very fortunate. I had very good health. I had a slight headache one day, and that was it for the whole my whole trip process right
Hmm.
there.
So I did meet with my doctor. I got a prescription for Diamox. I
Hmm.
got a Hep A and B shot as
Yep.
just a general protection. And we talked about malaria medication and just opted not to, and said, if I'm going to be using some the Ben's insect repellent wipes, So I'll
Yeah, there
use
you go.
those because you're really it's only an issue for when you're in town or like the first day when you're going through the rainforest, and then beyond
Exactly.
that you're up above.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And also, for I don't know if anybody here donates blood on a regular basis. I do every 2 months. I go donate my pint of blood. But the Red Cross will not take you for 3 months after your trip, just in case
oh
malaria.
yeah.
And
Mm.
I said, really? I mean, even after
You
2 months,
test
they
it.
said,
Yeah.
I tested, and it's like, you test it, you test it. No, 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 because so I had to wait 3 months
Oh,
after I got back.
good to know. Yeah.
So if anybody here donates blood on a regular basis.
Hmm. Let's talk a little bit about consumables and snacks and things like that. What are some of the things that you mentioned that they provide a lot of food on the cooks there, and they're
Yes,
cooking lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and
yeah, lunch not so much. Oh yeah, they do lunch, but I mean, all the local food that they have and provide there, it's all it's all what they bring up on them. I mean, they bring eggs, chicken, fish, everything up there, which is really nice. But for my own personal snacks, I brought jerky, bars. I mean, what I wanted, basically, payday bars for my sugary treats. Um, and I mean, it's just whatever floats your boat. I mean, there was nothing of anything. My diet on nut on my trail mix, excuse
Mhm.
me, etc. I think I overpacked in that. So at the end, I was just starting to say, "Hey, here's snacks for everybody." And everybody's like, "Yes!" Everybody just come over and rush the silly American, with who brings all the food. Yeah. um, and No, but the biggest thing that we ate well. I'm not sure what service you guys are using, but I mean, our service was very accommodating. We had some special dietary concerns with some people being vegetarian. They provided vegetarian meals for them, which was really nice. Um, the biggest thing, snack wise or anything, I think was my electrolytes. I know it's not a snack, but again, uh, I think that's what really kind of kept me going because when I'm hiking, I don't eat. I eat breakfast and I eat dinner, and when I'm hiking, I just eat very light snacks.
Mhm.
Um, so again, the variety of what you want to eat, what you want to share, just pack accordingly. But
That's a
I would not recommend anything that could freeze up or becomes
okay.
too hard. So you don't
Ah,
want to break
good
a tooth
point.
off.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so bring shareable type things. That's
Yeah,
a good tip. Yeah,
yeah,
things that won't freeze and you won't be able
yeah,
to bite into, or
yeah,
however you eat it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Let's see. So what was the total of you were carrying what did you say, about 20 pounds on your day
20
pack?
pounds. I have a 34 liter backpack,
Hmm.
and it has very similar to yours, two outside pockets on the very back by my hips and one big main pocket. Um, and yeah, I just carried what I needed in there, just my rain gear if necessary, my extra charging battery. And there is very, very limited cell service on the mountain. I did call my wife once or twice from the mountain.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was just freakish. I get like 5 minutes of cell service. Hi, honey. And remember, if you're on the West Coast, it's 11-hour difference time.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
so be mindful
That's
when you
rough.
text.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so was there anything that you brought that you didn't even use at all, and just because maybe you had to be prepared, or you thought you might need it, like you said, better to be safe than sorry?
I no everything. I went over my list so many times. I packed. I felt right, but I could lose a couple of things now, reflecting upon everything.
Hmm.
Um, uh, the thing that probably took up a lot of weight was, I shouldn't say a lot of weight, but too many rechargeable battery packs.
Mm,
Um, on the climb, I mean, I brought three of them with me, and I only needed one because you're not making phone calls, you're not surfing the web or doing anything like that. You're just taking pictures. Uh,
right.
for your cell phone. And I charged up my cell phone every night, um, and I didn't burn through it. And I'm not taking all these movies, and I'm not playing any movies. So I think the battery, too many battery packs. That's probably the one thing I overpacked with. Overpacked
Mm.
with my snacks, I think, uh, and that was it. I think I did good. I at least I like to think I did good.
Let's flip that around. So, is there anything that you wish you brought or you wish brought more of?
Hmm. In all honesty, I mean, the thing that I said I'm going to take as my luxury items, as you mentioned right there, was my air mattress and my pillow. Uh, that made me more comfortable for me, and plus sleeping on top of their pad along with my air mattress and my pillow, I think that was the one luxury items that I did bring. Other than that, I mean, again, I can't my I got very fortunate with my trip and the way everything went. Because I mean the horror stories of bags being lost because of multiple transfers coming there and having to rent all your equipment, and then everything just catches up, or
Mm,
they miss, or you're missing things. It's like, again, I just got very lucky.
yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about some lessons learned. Looking back, you've had, I don't know, it's been 9 months almost since
Hmm.
then. What are the top lessons, maybe the top three lessons you learned from climbing Kilimanjaro that you wish somebody had told you in a podcast like this before you went?
Lessons that I would learn, or I would should say, it's don't be intimidated by the mountain, because everybody was really hyping it up. Oh, it's going to be a tough climb. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. I had a lot of people saying it's going to just take toll on you. If you're going to listen to the porters, eating right, and training ahead of time, that's the biggest difference right there. Even though I didn't get to train at, maybe 10,000, 12,000 feet is the highest I ever went around here, uh, in California. That was the biggest, thing. Is like, hey, you know what? This is easier to Mount Whitney. Uh, uh, it's a gentle climb, and up until the summit night.
Mm,
Um, uh, I found it as not as difficult as people have said. If I can do it, I mean, I've turned 55 next year, but I've been doing this for a while. Uh, just pace yourself, take your time, and enjoy the ride up, because you're not running up the mountain. You're going a very walking pace.
hmm
So,
Yeah, I've
um,
heard some of the things I've read or seen people talking about it say that oftentimes they're averaging about a mile an hour. That they're going
yeah,
at a really slow pace, mainly because the idea is for you to acclimate. That's the really
yes,
most important thing to your success is acclimating to the elevation, and
yes.
that just takes time. And
It,
so going up fast and then just laying around in camp isn't as helpful as just going slowly and methodically.
Slow, methodical. Our guide, he went up. I asked him how many times, and he said probably about my 90th time to the top. The owner operator of the thing. I was like, and he's credible, and he's just a small man. I just, well, a small, shorter than I am. Anyways, but yeah, it's they want you to succeed is the biggest thing, because if you succeed, you're going to say, hey, XYZ Kilimanjaro group was the way to go with. But I mean, they want to make sure that you're safe too. Which
Hmm.
is all the big things right there. Like I said, only a few people. Unfortunately, my friend had to be helicoptered off, because I mean, injury or illness or sickness can happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. They want to minimize that risk to you as much as possible.
For sure. I'm assuming they checked your blood oxygen level periodically on the hike.
No, I mean, they didn't check mine at
Okay.
all. I mean, I guess maybe that depends on the service that you use.
Okay.
Um, they only, when my friend was getting sick, that's the only time they broke out the O2 meter
Okay.
to say and they were asking
So
lots
they're
of questions.
monitoring your physical symptoms and what you're
Oh yeah,
exhibiting, and like, oh yeah, this person, maybe we need to
is
check on them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they're very conscious and aware. of
Mm.
their surroundings. At least our service was.
Mm. All right. Well, we're just about out of time. So maybe for anybody who's thinking about doing Kilimanjaro, or for the rest of the other 12 people who are coming with me, what's your biggest piece of advice for them?
Live in the moment, enjoy the time, take lots of photos, make sure you talk to the porters and the guides because they're fascinating people. Because, I mean, how often do you meet somebody from the other side of the world and visit their home? Uh, uh, yeah, if you do stop over anywhere and you do have time, especially in Qatar, I know that's a big go through or a hub. Definitely try to get out and besides exploring the actual uh, airport itself, make sure you try to get out because it is well worth it. Also, if you have the time, and my friend actually went back and did a safari. That would be something if you have the time. I know you only have 2 months to go until your trip, but if you can stay an extra day or two, that'd be definitely worth it right there. But also eat local
Mm.
when you're in the hotel, get out into the city as much as possible. They're friendly, they're accommodating. You're going to be very popular. You're going to be guided to all the stores. Uh, uh, but eat as local as possible. Uh,
Mm.
I know also for Tanzania, they just passed a law where they don't accept American cash anymore. You got to change it into shillings. That's what they use. Um, Shop around for the rates, and you can also bargain a lot with a lot of the vendors too. They
Mhm.
may say 100, you say 50. They'll say 75, you say 50. All of a sudden, it becomes $40 or 40 shilling or whatever it is.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, hey, I want to thank you so much for sharing your experience and helping me, kind of flesh out my own packing list for Kilimanjaro.
No
two
worries.
months away from almost to the day, I think, from when we're recording this. And so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I think your advice is going to help us all, everybody on my group, and probably other people listening, kind of get dialed in on the gear and the mindset that they need for Kilimanjaro. So I really appreciate that. Where can people link up with you and follow what you're doing online and social media?
So you can follow me. I mean, I'm Jason Parks on Facebook or Jason's Hiking Adventures on Facebook. I mean, it's just what I do. So
Hmm.
Jason's Hiking Adventures on Instagram. You can message me there. I always answer anybody. I if anybody ever talks or reaches out to me, I'm not some sort of social media star or anything like that. Unlike like Jeff here,
No,
I
no.
just I just do things for the fun of it. You can find me on Bay Area Hikers on Facebook. Also, I lead a lot of hikes. I mean, we get together, we have fun. It's no pressure. We don't talk politics or religion, just guns and whatchamacallit. Sorry, we have a lot of fun at my expense. No, no,
All
no, no,
right.
no. You can
All
find me
right.
there.
So I'll put links to all of that stuff in the show notes, as well as links
Sure.
to my packing list. I don't know if you have a packing list, so you can share. We could link to that.
I
But
I lit- I literally had a piece of paper.
well, maybe we'll take a photo of that, and we'll post that in the notes. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, my chicken scratch. That's a good one right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thanks again, Jason.
You're welcome.
We'll be following along.
I'll be following you
I'll be
guys.
linking to Jason's stuff on the show notes, along with my full packing list, all the resources for your Kilimanjaro climb. And if you're this episode is sponsored by, of course, the Social Hikers and the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge Series. Registration is open for 2026 and this coming year, this in 2026. One registration gives you access to all of the challenges. So you can sign up once and do Bay Area and Lake Tahoe, or mix and match to create your own challenge and get your name on the finishers list. So we're going to have a lot of, new ways to appreciate and enjoy the challenge. You can really make it your own. And you'll have the community of the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge and social hikers to help inspire and motivate you for those big adventures like Kilimanjaro or Whitney or whatever your big adventure might be. You can see a link to all of that in the show notes. And I hope to see you on the summit next year. All right. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to subscribe, leave a review. It really helps get the word out, and share with your fellow hikers. And we'll see you online. Have a great day.